Hello everybody, my name is Maxim and I am from CodeJig team. In this video I want to show you how to work with tables and collections in our app builder. As you can see, I created a project managing application, and on this web page you can name your project and add all the extra details. So to show you what is a table, let's open our application just like that and move folder back to our table, and here it is. So basically, table is a collection of instances of a specific data type. In this case, it is a collection of those projects. So the first step to working with tables is editing the way this table comes up to a user. So for example, you don't want to display all of the fields in the columns and you want to add some extra details. So to edit this view, let's go to our application editor, folder data types, and choose our project data type in here and move to the folder views. So we should add a table view. By default, the application displays all of the fields and columns and there is no table view. And let's create a new one which will automatically become a default one. So let's name it as our project as well, just like that. And this is our table view editor. So the very basic things you can do with your table view is, for example, deleting some columns or switching them with places or something like that. So this is a column editor when you can, for example, change the name of the column, choose some pattern, enter the default width, put a placeholder, indicate what type of field it is, and some other tools. So a very important function is don't show by default. So for example, by default, automatically, we want to show to the user only name of the project and its state. However, we want the user to access all of the other columns as well. So to do this, let's drag all of the other columns that we previously deleted. And not to show them by default, just put tick on this button. So it's going to be all the columns except our name and state. And let's save our progress, publish our application to see what we just got. So our application has just been published. Let's open it and move to our table. As you can see, by default, we have displayed only the name of the project and its state. However, what our function .show by default just did, it allowed the user to choose other columns in this list. So for example, he wants to view deadline, it is displayed in here, priority, it is displayed in here, and the same thing for other columns. And right now, let's try to add a table to our web page. So let's have a look at what we want to achieve in our project managing application. So here we have a table of our tasks of the project, as you can see. And right here we also have the project files. So both of them are tables, collections, and let's try to do them by ourselves. To realize this, we just move to our app editor page, and to create a table with our tasks, we just created a task data type, as you can see right here, with all of the fields like header, description, state, and others. And the first way to add a table to your web page is by going to data type details page of your web page and adding a new field like this, but not as a regular one, but as a collection. So we should just at first name our field, so let it be tasks, and then choose a specific data type. In our case, it is a task data type. And just create it. And right now, as we move to our web page editor, we can see that this task field just appeared in our existing fields. And let's just drag them to our web page. And here we are. Tasks just appeared on our web page. So we just added a table to our web page using the data type details page and dragging it from the existing fields. However, right now, let's try to add it. Let me show you the way you can add a table just from the web page editor. So to do this, you can basically drag the tape field to your web page. And right here, you should specify the name of the field. And in this field, you can choose the data type of your field. However, as you may have seen, we wanted to create a table with project files. And I didn't create a new data type for this project files. And we can do this right from here. So let's do it like that. Add a new data type. And let's call it again project files, just like that. Create it. And let's just add it. So as you can see, there is a table with none of the fields in here. And if we try to go to the data type of this field right here, we see that there are no fields of this data type right now. And the great tool of our app builder is that you may not just add those fields in the data type detail page, you can basically drag them right from our web page editor. So let's at first add some sort of a description of our project file, just like that. So let's name it as description. And let's add one more field, which is going to be our file. And right from the components, we drag a field upload file, just like that. And let's call it as our file. It's created. As you can see, here we have right now two fields, two columns. And if we try to move to let's save our web page at first. And if we try to move to the data type of this project file, just like that, we can see that two fields just appeared in the data type details page. However, an important thing to mention about adding some tables to your web page is that a table is basically just a way to represent a collection in our app builder. And there are basically three ways of representing collections on your web page. And let me introduce you to them. So the first way our collection may be displayed is a table view that you were recently introduced to. The second way, as you may have seen in the video about drop-down lists, is a multi-select view. And the third way that will soon be developed is a widget view. So to change the view our table is represented on our web page, let's just go to our web page, click to edit. And so right now, these are tables in here. However, if we try to edit this field, we can select another table in this general folder. So as you know, tables, collections may be represented as tables, multi-select lists, and widgets. So to change the view of this collection, we can actually go to the folder template and select from here. So as I said, widget view is going to soon be developed and it is not in the list right now. But for example, we can switch the tasks table to a multi-select view. And as you can see, it just gained a template of a multi-select list. And the same thing can be done with this project files that was created directly from our web page, just like that. So here we have our project managing application where you can add some project and describe all the details. However, as everywhere the application, it should have some sort of an overview page where a user can instantly view all of the projects, for example, and something in this way. So we just created a very basic overview page, so it looks just like that. It's not filled right now. And what we want right here is basically a table with all of the projects listed. So what we need to do, of course, we need to add a table of a project data type. And let's go to our app editor, project overview page, and let's just drag a table right here. And so let it be project and indicate its data type, which is our project. And let's create it, publish our application, and see what we just got. Our application has just been published. Let's just open it and see what we got. And as you can see, we got a table with the type project. However, it is empty by now, and all of the instances are only available in the reference list. And of course, you can fill this table on the load action using call blocks. However, it is not the best way to do this in our app builder because we offer a much better solution to this problem. The thing I'm going to explain right now might be a bit difficult for you, but I'll try to explain everything as clearly as possible with some following examples and comparisons. So let's move to our app editor page and add a new collection, a new table to our field, and let's name it as projects, for example, 2, projects all, just like that, and choose our project data type again, just in this way. And right now, we're just gonna tick on this is virtual button, and I will explain you how it worked just when we move to our application. So just like that, create, and let's drag it right about our regular collection and publish our application. Our application has just been published. Let's just open it and see what we got. And as you can see in this table that was ticked virtual, all the instances were displayed. And right now, let me explain you what this tick on the is virtual button just did. So virtual collection is basically a mirror, a complete representative of the main index table of a specific indicated data type. In our case, it is a project data type. So this collection completely represents our project collection. So this table. This is the way it works. And right now, let me explain you some differences between this regular collection that is not tagged as a virtual and a virtual collection. So the first difference concerns instances. As you can see in the virtual table, all of the instances are instantly in the table, while in the regular collection, in the regular table, they are only available in the reference list, and you can just add them using this way or something like that. Another difference concerns manipulation. So you cannot manipulate virtual table using some code, only custom difficult codes, and while with a regular collection, you can do all of these manipulations, you can filter the objects inside your table, and etc. And the third difference concerns a huge amount of instances. So imagine that in both of these tables, you have 10,000 instances. And in the regular table, all of these 10,000 instances would be loaded just at once. While in a virtual collection, by default, only 50 instances would be loaded. And afterwards, you can load some more and you can indicate any number of instances you want to load. And this is actually good because if there are 10,000 instances, it might take some time to load the page with a regular collection where all the 10,000 instances would be displayed at once. And with the virtual collection, it is a bit better in this way. And right now, I would like to show you how to manipulate with tables using call blocks. So as you already know, only a regular table can be manipulated using call blocks. And let's imagine a situation. So we have our overview page, and in this table, all of the projects are listed. And for example, in this table, we want to view only the completed projects. So to do this, let's move to our app editor and go to our web page, overview page. Let's change it just like that. And at first, let's just change the name for the project, for the table title. Let it be completed, just like that. And let's also change the field name to completed as well, just like that. Update. Right now, let's save our web page and go to the data type details page of our project overview. And as we want those completed projects to be viewed right when we load our web page, let's create an action within the code blocks folder and a load action, just like that. Create it. And here we are in the code block editor. So as our completed projects table is empty by now, we should fill it with some instances. So let's at first set the value of this table. Let's go to our item variable and choose in here our completed collection, just like that. And we're going to set those instances using the queries block. So the first block we add is where in the first part you indicate the data type instances of which you're going to stream through. So in our case, let's add a stream of our project data type as we are streaming through the project instances. Let's get it just in this way. And let's also name this variable as a, let it be project. And in the second block, we should add some condition. So in our case, if the state of the project in the table in all of the instances, so let's show our project variable. If it's state, let's get it, is completed. So let's add a logic block at first, just like this one. And to get this completed seed instance, let's just go to a fetch folder. Right here, let's print state, our state data type. Let's fetch it and get that completed. And right now, let's name this variable as completed and merely get it just in this way and drag it in here. So we just set a new collection with some given condition that the state needs to be completed to our completed table. So let's save our progress and publish our application to see what we just got. And our application has just been published. Let's just open it. And as you can see in this table, all of the projects are displayed. And by using our code blocks in our regular table, only completed projects are displayed. And right now, I would like to show you some other tool. So as you can see, by default, only the columns name and state are viewed. But we want to add a button, and by clicking it, user will be able to view all the details, such as deadline of the project. So basically the columns that are in here, like deadline, description, priority, and starting date. So to do this, let's just go to our app editor again. Let's go to our overview page, just in this way, and add a button. So the first button is going to be, let it be show details. Just name it like that. Show details. And the second button is going to be hide details, as the user need also have an opportunity to view only name and state mode. So just like that. And let it be hide details. We're done with that. So let's save it. Let's add a before server custom action to our show details button, create new, and let's name it show details. And right now we are redirected to the code block editor. So in our app builder, we have a built-in function called show column, which is executed with the field name and the table ID, and is executed for each column of the table. So at first we should specify the parameter field name, and the field name only takes as an argument a system name of your field. This is why let's open our data types page in a new folder, go to our project data type where all of the fields are located, and we should change the system names of each of this field. So let's at first add a system name of our name. Let it be just like that. And all of the other columns as well. As you can see, we just created the system names for each of the fields we want to manipulate with, hide or show. And right now, let's go to our project overview data type, just in this way. And we should get a table ID of the table that we want to do manipulations with. So this is our completed table with completed projects. And to get an ID, just click on the settings button and copy ID. So the ID is just copied, and let's move to our code block editor. So these parameters take strings as an argument. So let's get two strings in here, and in the table ID, let's just paste our ID of the table, and let it be the first column we want to show is description, just in this way. And the same thing should be done with all of the other columns, and basically just change the name. So let it be the next one is priority, and the same for two more columns. So we just executed the same function for two more columns, like deadline, start date, and some others. So let's just save our code and publish our application to see what we just got. So our application has just been published. Let's open it and see the result. As you can see, by default, only name and the state are displayed, but when we click the button Show Details, all of the columns are instantly displayed. However, if we try to click the button Hide Details, nothing happens for now. So we need to add an action, Hide Details, for our Hide Details button. So let's just go to our web page editor again, to our project overview web page. Let's edit it and create an action, a before server custom action for our hide details button. So let's create new and let's name it as hide details as well, just like that, and create it. And we are redirected to the block code again. So right now, the function we're going to use is basically a function called hideColumn, which accepts the same parameters as showColumn does, but it will just hide them. So we again create two strings, just in this way, get space here our table ID. So let's go to our data types and copy the table ID. Project overview and complete it, copy ID, and let's just paste it in here. And the same, we should indicate the system name of the field we want to hide. So in our case, it's going to be description, and the same thing for three other fields. So we just repeated the function for three other fields. Let's just save our progress and publish our application to see how it works. So our application has just been published. Let's open it and see the way it all works. So let's at first try to show our details. All of the columns are displayed, and right now if we try to hide them, everything works again. We are back to the name and state mode. As an addition to this video, I would like to tell you about embedded tables in our app builder. So this will be displayed in more details in a video with embedded data types in our app builder, but let me show you the way they work real quick. So this is our page created by Kojic. So let's just fill some sample data to see example fillings. And this is an example of an embedded table. So the greatest thing about it is that it can be edited just inline. So you can just remove this word, for example. We can change some other fields and some sort of that thing. And the way it works, it can work like that because changes in this table are not implemented until the main instance, the invoice instance in this case, is saved. So this is the way embedded tables work. So this is all for this video. Today we learned how to work with tables and collections, and if you feel that you need some support, don't be shy to contact our support department. Thank you for watching. Bye.